Someone must have slandered Joseph Kay, because although he had done nothing wrong, Anna, the cook who brought him breakfast every morning, didn't come this time. That had never happened before.
Who are you?
You rang?
Yes? Anna's
He wants Anna to bring him breakfast. Ha! It's not possible. Wouldn't you rather stay here?
I'm sorry about the breakfast today. They forbid me from coming to your place.
You should have stayed in your room. Didn't Franz tell you that? You're under arrest.
And why is that? Let me see your papers.
You're behaving worse than a child. Do you want to end your process by discussing our papers with us? We're just lowly employees. But our authorities obtain detailed reports on the person arrested before ordering an arrest. There's been no mistake. The inspector wants you. What are you thinking? Do you want to see the inspector in your nightshirt? He'll have you flogged, and us along with you. Stop that. It won't accomplish anything. You can't leave. You're being held.
Joseph Kay. You're no doubt greatly surprised by this morning's events.
Who's accusing me? What authorities are in charge of the proceedings?
These gentlemen and I are merely marginal figures in your affair, and in fact know almost nothing about it. I can't report that you've been accused of anything. You've been arrested, that's all I know. There will be an inquiry into your affair next Sunday. These inquiries will now be held on a regular basis. Here is the number of the building in which you are to appear.
Don't take this too hard. You're under arrest, all right, but not the way a thief would be. I can tell.
Kay had resolved at once to go to said house on Sunday. The trial was getting underway, and he had to put up a fight. This initial inquiry must also be the last. You should have been here an hour and 5 minutes ago.
Nobody told me when the trial starts.
Yes, but now I'm no longer required to examine you. However, I'll make an exception for today. So, you're a house painter?
No, I'm the chief financial officer of a large bank. There can be no doubt that these proceedings are senseless and that innocent people are being arrested because of it. I only recognize these proceedings out of compassion.
All your remarks are on record and have already caused you immense harm.
I'm sure I'll be summoned again soon.
We'll know how to find you. After visiting the court, Kay began to question whether it was wise to ignore and mock the trial. Once a week, he would visit a girl named Elsa, who worked as a waitress at night and received visitors during the day while lying in bed. Today, however, he decided instead to see Huld, a lawyer who had been recommended to him as an expert in these matters.
I'm here to see Lawyer Huld.
The lawyer is ill, but I will introduce you.
Chief Financial Officer Joseph Kay. I am very interested in your matter.
How do you know about me and my trial?
I move in legal circles. Various trials are discussed, and the more striking ones stick in one's memory. The court wants to eliminate the defense as much as possible. Everything is to be laid upon the defendant himself. But there is no other court before which there is a greater need for lawyers.
I'll go see what's happened.
It was nothing. I just threw a plate against the wall to get you to come out. I can help you better than he can.
It's very rude to leave in the middle of a conversation. If you want my help, please come with me. Lenny, leave us alone.
Should I really get the lawyer's help?
You chose well. I have won, or came close to winning, many similar trials. You must know, however, that the defense is not actually countenanced by the law, but only tolerated. The room to which we were relegated is itself an indication of the court's contempt for us. You will probably be shocked by the lot gathered there. Oh, these are crooked lawyers. Get rid of them or they won't leave us alone.
We see the sign of your conviction on your lips. We're trying to figure out the best way to help you. You've damaged your case terribly when it was starting out so well. Certainly nothing is lost as yet. Can't you see 2 steps in front of you? They think you're guilty. Everything will turn out well. You seek too much outside help. You are entirely innocent. Do you realize your trial is going badly?
These conditions are scandalous. It's good that you got rid of those crooked lawyers. Now, you need to consider how to begin. Either we write a petition, or we use my connections.
I'll have to leave the talking to the lawyer.
The most important factor is still the lawyer's personal contacts. Court officials are often clueless and come to a lawyer for advice. You can influence the trial in this way, even if only slightly at first.
I'll have to leave the talking to the lawyer. The petition must be written by the lawyer.
Writing the first petition is very important. The first impression made by the defense often influences the whole course of the proceedings. Unfortunately, on some occasions, initial petitions are not even read by the court. Writing the first petition, the first impression made by the defense often influences. Unfortunately, on some occasions, initial petitions are not even read by the court. The most important factor is still the lawyer's. Court officials are often clueless and come to a lawyer for advice. You can influence the trial in this way, even if only slightly at first.
Should I have the lawyer write a petition?
Since you do not know what you are accused of, you must briefly describe your life. For each event of any importance, explain why you had acted as you did, and whether you would reject or approve of your actions today, and for what reasons.
Sir, we're to be flogged because you complained about us to the examining magistrate.
Do as you wish, but bear in mind that the court could not permit itself to be mocked. Have you commented on everything?
I would prefer not to talk to my father.
Why didn't you come today? I was expecting you.
I fear I'm devoid, my father. I love Elsa, and I'm happy with her. The guards in my apartment were corrupt ruffians. It was no longer a matter of accepting or rejecting the trial. Should I really write the petition like this?
Just now, when he should have summoned all his strength, Kay discovered such doubts of his own judgment as had previously been foreign to him. Could he really rely so little on his own judgment already? You must end your petition with a declaration. Do you feel guilty or innocent?
I really feel innocent?
After the lawyer's visit, Kay was again in doubt whether he had made the right decision. However, nothing special happened in his case after the petition was made. From then on, Kay gradually forgot about the court. On the eve of his 31st birthday, two gentlemen entered Kay's lodgings.
So, you're meant for me. They're not prepared for questions.
You have to wear a black hat.
Once outside, they seized Kay's hands below with a well-trained, practiced, and irresistible grip. Then one man drew from its sheath a long, thin, double-edged butcher knife. Kay knew that it would be his duty to seize the knife and stab himself with it, but he didn't, and looked around. One of the men put his hands to his throat, while the other plunged the knife into his heart and twisted it twice. With failing sight, Kay saw the gentlemen leaning against each other, watching what had been decided. "Like a dog," he said. It seemed as though the shame was to outlive him. The most important factor is still court officials are often clueless and come to a lawyer for advice. You can influence the trial in this way, even if only slightly at first.
Should I use the lawyer's connections?
Thanks to my intercession, the warden will allow you to enter the law. But you have to find the way yourself. You are doing well, but you have not yet entered the law. You seem to be failing to enter the law. We have to find another solution. Some employees of the court are corrupt. I can review the confidential files on your case. Finally, I can advise you properly. Just now, when he should have summoned all his strength, Kay discovered such doubts of his own judgment as had previously been foreign to him. Could he really rely so little on his own judgment already? You must now choose whether to seek an apparent acquittal or a protraction.
What is an apparent acquittal?
I'll write out a certification of your innocence. Then I'll make the rounds of the judges I know with the certification. When I've gathered enough signatures, I'll take it to the judge who's currently conducting your trial. The charge against you is dropped for now, but it can be reinstated the moment an order comes from above.
What is a protraction?
I will visit the relevant judge and keep him as content as possible. We will keep the trial at the lowest stage. You will be interrogated. Inquiries will be conducted, and so forth. But you will be almost as safe from a conviction as you would be as a free man.
Should I really strive for a protraction?
After the lawyer's visit, Kay was again in doubt whether he had made the right decision. From time to time, he reported to his judge and underwent short interrogations. He became accustomed to it, and thoughts of the bank began to occupy him fully once more, as in earlier times. On the eve of his 31st birthday, two gentlemen entered Kay's lodgings.
So, you're meant for me. They're not prepared for questions.
You have to wear a black hat.
Once outside, they seized Kay's hands below with a well-trained, practiced, and irresistible grip. Then one man drew from its sheath a long, thin, double-edged butcher knife. Kay knew that it would be his duty to seize the knife and stab himself with it, but he didn't, and looked around. One of the men put his hands to his throat, while the other plunged the knife into his heart and twisted it twice. With failing sight, Kay saw the gentlemen leaning against each other, watching what had been decided. "Like a dog," he said. It seemed as though the shame was to outlive him.